UFC Sacramento. Fluffy Hernandez is taking on Gregory Rodrigues, otherwise known as RoboCop. And surprise, actually, this card's kind of sick. Normally, I say the other side of that. I say that the card is completely trash. I mean, last week we had a pay-per-view and it was fucking terrible. I don't know what I was doing with myself. Now, it's a fight night. Fluffy Hernandez is headlining the card and it's probably better than the pay-per-view last week. You guys know the drill at this point. I'm doing a breakdown for every single fight on the card. Let's get straight into it. First up, we have Chanel Dyer versus Elise Reed. Okay, I'm gonna be taking Chanel Dyer here. I don't think that she's that good. I have no clue who set the odds how we got to this point, because she's not very like her way of winning is through kicks. Like, I understand she's a very kick heavy approach, and she's really tall, I think, at least for the division. Like, she's 5'6", she has long limbs. She does a good job of using ranged weapons with her kicks, but like, it's not the most effective way of doing it. It's also not the most powerful, but at the same time, like, I understand the odds, but I don't, you know what I mean? Because Elise Reed is brain dead. Okay, that was bad. She's brain dead as a fighter. Fight IQ is not very good. She kind of wants to like bounce in and out of range like she's Bruce Lee or something. Like, she keeps her lead hand low like she's Wonder Boy, like she's Stephen Thompson, you know what I mean? But then, like, you see her throw a combination and you're like, oh, that was not Stephen Thompson right there. That was definitely Elise Reed throwing that combination. You know what I mean? It's like, I understand the odds, but at the same time, I don't. So Elise Reed, she's not an athlete. Chanel Dyer seems to be a little bit better of an athlete than Elise Reed is. Dyer does a better job of like implementing her game plan and her style. Like, Elise Reed kind of looks a little bit helpless at times. What it is that she's trying to get done with those little like flicky hand low, step in, step out, Michael Venom Page type of shit. So yeah, you know, I mean, who cares? Been talking about this fight for way too long. Taking Chanel Dyer, and I took her by TKO, I guess. F it. Next up on the card, we have Jackson McVeigh versus Wes Schultz. I know I said the card was good, and you're looking at that on your screen, and you're yelling at me, saying, what the fuck are you talking about? This is dog shit. Give me like 2 or 3 more fights. I swear to God, it gets better. I'm taking Jackson McVeigh. This is kind of a weird matchup. Also, why do they look like the same person, but like one of them is italicized? You know what I mean? Like, Jackson Schultz is the italicized version of Wes. Anyways, yeah, Wes Schultz, good grappler, retarded at the same time. Like, he's weird, he's brain dead. I know I've said brain dead like 5 times this video already, but I mean, he's like unorthodox and retarded. I don't know how to like he could pull guard, he could like throw out these like weird combinations on like an offbeat angle, like a weird angle too, like, and it doesn't work half the time, but like not half the time, like 75% of the time it doesn't work, or it won't work against UFC competition. But when it does work, he's like putting people on their ass. So you're like, okay, he has power, but on the other side of things, did I say I'm taking Jackson McVeigh? I have no idea. I'm taking Jackson McVeigh. I don't know if I've said that. Yeah, Jackson McVeigh, he's super long and pause, but he loves to get into the clinch, which is kind of weird. You know, he doesn't like using any range strikes at all. He just does a very good job of fighting in close, landing knees, elbows, and then from there, he wants to get a takedown, whether it's with a throw or whether he drops down. He doesn't really drop down into takedowns from the clinch very much, but when he does shoot the takedown, or he throws you down, he does a good job when he's on top, but if he gets reversed, it doesn't go well. But I have to assume that with Wes Schultz being as retarded on the back foot and defensively irresponsible as he is, I have to assume he's probably gonna get lit up in the clinch, not gonna know what to do, try and throw some shot over the top, get clipped by a knee or an elbow or something, go down and get TKO'd against the fence like he did against Damian Penis. I'm taking Jackson McVeigh by round, what did I put? 2 TKO, round 2 or 3 TKO. Next up on the card, we have Gage Young versus Stan Dorsainville. I'm gonna take Gage Young. Feel weird about it because Stan is a pressure oriented fighter, and he likes to walk you down. He's got a really good chin. The pressure style in MMA nowadays is just very effective. But Gage Young, he's a really good kickboxer. I like him a lot. I think that he can be a little bit plotty at times, and you know, his feet kind of almost fall over himself. Like, he gets a little Jamal Hill-esque at times, which kind of pisses me off. But his kickboxing is pretty good. He has a good flicky jab. He'll mix up his targets. He has a lot of good kicks. And as far as like takedown defense he is like pretty athletically gifted. He has good sprawls. Once he is on the ground, we haven't really seen too much. It doesn't look good. You know, the hope is that the takedown defense is good enough to where we won't get there. Yeah, Stan is like a brute. Like I said, like he's really trying to just pressure you and do damage no matter where it is, pressure you against the fence. He uses a lot of, I think I have it here. He uses a lot of pushing teeps, push you up against the side of the octagon, get into the clinch, land elbows, make it dirty, make it ugly. But Gage Young does a very good job of stopping forward pressure. Not stopping forward pressure, but he's powerful enough, I think, to stop Stan from entering over and over and over and over and over and just land shots from there, do damage as Stan kind of enters into the pocket, as he kind of just recklessly does. So I'm gonna take Gage Young. Kind of weird because I don't fucking know too much about this Stan dude other than the fact that that's his style and he has a good chin. But anyways, yeah, who cares? Moving on from that one. Marcio Barbosa versus Ryan Coos. I'm not going to break this down for more than 30 seconds. Let's go straight to the notes and read 3 sentences here. Marcio Barbosa is a very powerful looping shot guy with limited cardio because he throws everything with 110% power. Coos seems to be very mediocre in every area of MMA. Yeah, no, he's like a jack of all trades, master of none, but not even jack of all trades, like kind of retard of all trades. My final sentence is Marcio will kill him. Yeah, he'll probably put him away inside of the first 2 minutes. It's not going to be close. It's going to be really fun to watch, actually. He's going to go unconscious pretty quick. So, moving on. Next up on the card, we have Nasrat Haqparast versus Chris Padilla. I told you this card was heating up a little bit. I'm taking Chris Padilla here. Padilla has a very good pressure style of Muay Thai where he's gonna open up with just classic, simple Muay Thai combinations. He loves his front kick to the body. He's gonna keep stabbing, pushing you against the fence, non-stop pressure. And if things go to the ground, he's gonna try and implement that same pressure on the ground to really just break you. On the other side of things, Haqparast is kind of a straight punch merchant from what I've found. He is pretty complete in most areas. A little bit defensively irresponsible, like the they own a bakery, you know what I mean? Like, well, what was the plan there, you know? Like, this isn't gonna protect yourself, the head kick's gonna land, dickhead. But anyways, yeah, what do I have here? I have Nasrat is a straight left-hand merchant and has good takedown defense, but isn't dynamic enough to win on the fly. Yeah, he doesn't do a good job of making reads from what I've noticed, which is why, like, outside of the straight left hand is what I'm saying. He can make a read on the straight left hand, but outside of that, it's like, there's no real way, there's no finishing ability outside of that, if that makes sense. So I'm taking Chris Padilla just for the sole reason of, you know, he's probably gonna out-pressure Nasrat, and he will probably win over 15 minutes. So, moving on. Next up on the card, we have Kennedy Nzechukwu versus Shamil Gaziev. This fight sucks, and that's just because, I mean, it's unranked heavyweight. Are both these guys are unranked, right? Yeah, they are. It's unranked heavyweight, dog shit fight. Going back to the notes here, let's read a few sentences. Yeah, Nzechukwu is gonna have like simple low output things early, and then he like kind of slowly builds as the fight goes. And he does a pretty good job of picking up on reads, but he can be a little bit reluctant. He doesn't throw a lot of times, and then he's like playing catch up as the third round hits. Shamil, on the other hand, he keeps his hands like down almost, and he's trying to bait you into swinging in the pocket. And it works for unranked heavyweights, so that's why I'm kind of like torn here on who it is that I'm gonna pick. I'm gonna pick Kennedy Nzechukwu, I think. Yeah, I didn't pick a winner for this one until I started recording, like that. This was my enlightenment period here while I'm recording. Yeah, Shamil, his cardio is just so bad. It's so bad. He'll probably have success early. Kennedy will throw those 1-2 shot combinations at the beginning of the fight, which inherently is just gonna kind of play into Shamil's game plan of like, oh yeah, let's swing in here, and he'll probably be able to counter strike early. Shamil lands a few shots, Kennedy doesn't go out from it, and then as the fight goes, Shamil gets more tired, Kennedy builds off of reads, and we go from there. That's what I have for that, but again, it's unranked heavyweight, and I probably won't even really be watching this there conscious. Like, I won't be looking at it completely because I don't care. Moving on. Next up, we have Jamal Emmers versus Larian Douglas. Taking Larian Douglas, side note, Jamal Emmers weighed under the 45-pound limit at like 142, 143 pounds. Don't know what that says. Usually that's not a good sign. That means you had a bad weight cut. Yeah, not stoked on that. Taking Larian Douglas, I think that he does overswing a lot at times. He's very patient. He's not like just getting in there, understanding he's more powerful than you and just swinging at you like that Seppo guy does from a couple weeks ago. He's gonna wait and he's gonna try and counter with that right hand over the top of when you do swing like a straight shot at him, which is a problem for Jamal Emmers because he's a Muay Thai style of guy and his head is straight up in the air. Even when he does swing in the pocket, his head is like Patty Pimblett at straight up in the air. So you have to assume that Douglas, he's powerful. He's probably the most powerful, if not the second most powerful person on this card, pound for pound. Maybe Marcio Barbosa is probably, or Gregory Rodrigues maybe. He's extremely powerful. He's patient enough. I think at some point he'll be able to cut the cage off against Jamal, and Jamal will end up trying to swing in the pocket because that's just what happens in Jamal Emmers fights. Like, he has to swing in the pocket because he's so up tall. He's not quick, bouncy, moving around. Like, you can cut the cage off and force an exchange. And Larian Douglas puts people to sleep, like way more often than a human being should be putting people to sleep. Like, it's a crazy rate that when he hits people, they just go down. He's not technically, like, he's not like a technical mastermind and like, oh, he's making all these reads. He's making one simple read and he's bombing one over the top and they're going to sleep. Eventually, he's gonna fight someone who knows what to do with that, and they're just gonna pick him apart on the outside, or they're gonna make him tired, or whatever the case is. But for the time being, Larian Douglas will probably spark out Jamal Emmers inside of the first 2 rounds. Next up, check it out. We're chilling on this one. I'm leaning back on this breakdown here. You ready? Got a LaCroix in hand and everything. Okay, yeah, so Anthony Wint versus Terrence Chapman. Anthony Wint, is this the guy who played in the NFL? I'm looking it up right now. Yeah, it is. Fought on the Contender Series very recently, actually. Yeah, so anyways, he's like an extremely athletic, like he's an athletic freak, clearly. I mean, look at him. Wrestler, very good, explosive, double leg entries, good, powerful hands. Like I said, he's gonna rely on his athleticism here, and he's just gonna explode into a double leg, ground and pound your face in, and that's kind of it. Chapman, on the other hand, I think people are overlooking this guy at least like a little bit, just because the hype is so new with Anthony Wint from his most recent performance on the Contender Series. But Chapman has some like really mean, slapping, hard low kicks, and he's just like powerful in general. Puncher's chance here, you know, I understand he's a huge underdog, but like it's heavyweight. He could just land a bomb and Wint could go out. It's very possible. He could slap his calf clean off. Like, weirder shit has happened. But I'm gonna take Anthony Wint for the sole reason of, like, Chapman seems to be a little bit untested with the grappling, as well as the fact I don't know how successful he's gonna be against this good of an athlete. So, you know, I'm kind of minus 1,000 is diabolical, though. Like, absolutely diabolical. Yeah, anyways. Yeah, I'm taking Anthony Wint. I have him by round 1 TKO. Next up on the card, we have Carly Judas versus Jaisla Chavez. I am taking Carly Judas. Carly Judas, she has a ton of output. She throws a lot of knees, a lot of front kicks, doesn't have any power behind it. It's all like kind of 20% power. And even when it is 100% power that she's throwing it at, it comes off as 20%. You know what I mean? It's just, there's nothing behind it. Chavez, on the other hand, she has like, I don't think she game plans. I think she relies on 2 to 3 combinations the whole time, mostly just a 1-2 though. Yeah, it's just spamming 1-2s over and over and over. So I'm taking Carly Judas just for the simple fact that she's more dynamic, has more ways to win. She can be a little bit low fight IQ, but Chavez, I think, is a little bit further down on that scale in terms of fight IQ and everything. So I'm taking Carly Judas. Quick breakdown. Don't care. Carly Judas should win. Carly, don't shoot a takedown when you don't need to. And you should win over 15 minutes. Next up on the card, we have Markel Medeiros versus Mason Jones. Upset alert. I am taking Markel Medeiros. I think that his last fight with Chris Padilla was a good wake-up call for him without taking a loss because it was a draw. That, okay, I need to work better against these guys with this pressure style of fighting. That is what Mason Jones does. Markel got that warm-up fight. He got that look of what that real style of walking you down is. And I think he's gonna excel. I think he's gonna be able to, he lands those brutal elbows when Mason Jones, and in Chris Padilla's case, when they enter into the pocket all recklessly, they get brutalized. They can get brutalized by elbows, split open. They're running into low kicks the whole time. I think Markel Medeiros is going to be able to anti-grapple at a high rate. He has super, super good sprawls, nasty, fast low kicks, very good at circling off the fence. I think he's underrated. I think he's really good. And I said this in the last fight, and I took him to beat Chris Padilla. It ended up going to a draw, but I mean, I think he's really good, dude. And I think that last fight with Chris Padilla was just a perfect way for him to like continue to learn to fight against that type of a style. If you want like technical stuff, this is what I have for that. I have Medeiros loves sitting on the outside and slamming low kicks and knees. Medeiros will throw elbows and knees to stop the pressure coming back his way, like I just said. And as far as Mason Jones is concerned, just constant pressure. He'll shoot takedowns. He will throw in kicks. Tons of success when he's moving forward. But if anything stops that forward momentum, not so good. So I'm taking Markel Medeiros. I think he wins by decision. Next up on the card, we have Reinier de Ridder versus Roman Dolidze. I'm not gonna lie, I know that people are probably stoked for RDR to be back. Oh, it's fun, happy, dandy. I don't care. I don't care, man. I'm gonna take him to win. Both of these guys are moving up to 205. They're both former 185ers. The interesting thing with this is that Roman Dolidze is probably a way better jiu-jitsu specialist or just grappler than RDR is, which is kind of crazy to say because RDR's calling card is his grappling. But Roman Dolidze's brain dead, and he doesn't go to his grappling for God knows what reason. It is the best thing that you have in your fight game, yet you decide to sit on the back foot and just spam a flicky jab into an overhand for 15 minutes. RDR will probably push him up against the fence, land knees, land elbows, work in a pace, and beat Roman over 15 minutes. Yeah, I mean, you want me to read my notes again? We'll go back to that. RDR wants to cut the cage, get into the clinch for knees, and land throws from there. Once you're on the ground, he will hunt the sub from his light ground and pound. RDR is terrible in the stand-up game. His punching and kicking and anything having to do with hitting your opponent at a standstill on the feet, he is helpless. Yeah, he doesn't really have an idea of how to defend himself in the striking either. Like he's helpless in every area of the striking. As for Dolidze, Dolidze is an incredible grappler, but he has negative fight IQ and decides to spam overhands for 15 minutes. So I'm taking Reinier de Ridder. He probably wins by decision. It could turn into a grapple fest. Again, though, I just don't care, you know? I'm sorry. Co-main event. This fight I don't care about either. Sergey Spivak, Vitor Petrino. Let's just read the notes because I don't care. And if I don't care, I'm sure you don't care. So here I have Spivak wants to get to the grappling from the clinch and basically just wear you out with control time once he does get to the ground. Spivak can mix up his targets. He does well with high kicks, low kicks, basic boxing combinations, things of that nature. Nothing too special on the feet, but he likes to keep you on your toes a little bit by mixing up targets. But the main thing is he wants to get you down and kind of just outwork dominant position from you. On the other hand, Vitor is extremely powerful and he kind of relies completely on looping shots. I think it's the lead, is it the lead hook? Is that what he's good at? I don't remember if it's like a check left hook or if it's a lead hook on the front foot. I just remember looping shots. That's all you need to know. Look at him. He's an athletic freak. He wants to land a looping shot and put you away. Oh, I have it right here. Vitor relies on looping shots as he both counter strikes and strikes on the front foot. But my next sentence, it says he is dumb as fuck. He is. I mean, how do you get guillotined by, you know, Anthony Smith? Was it a guillotine? I don't even remember. I think it was. He just shot in on a double leg, and rather than like, you know, getting to side control, he just like accepted the fact that he was in his guard and just he just got choked out. He's so dumb. He's legitimately brain dead. I didn't tell you who I was picking. Yeah. I'm taking Vitor Petrino. Oh, am I? I don't like that. I'm taking Sergey Spivak. Never mind. I'm taking Sergey Spivak. Yeah, Vitor Petrino's too dumb, bro. He's way too dumb. Yeah, Sergey is like right on that threshold of heavyweight where it's like, okay, things are starting to ramp up in, you know, skill here. Vitor Petrino's not there. He had a questionable few moments against Steven Asplunge, who I think is entertaining, but not the best. I love Steven Asplunge, by the way. He's one of my favorite fighters, probably in the UFC. I f***ing love that guy. But yeah, few questionable moments against a guy that I don't necessarily see being like a top 5, top 10 contender, whereas Spivak has been there before, so taking Spivak. Main event time, we have Fluffy Hernandez versus Gregory Rodrigues. Gregory RoboCop Rodrigues. I'm gonna take Fluffy. He's obviously just trying to break you, just with pressure. Front foot, everything's coming at you, spamming literally everything, whether it be basic boxing combinations, low kicks, diving in on takedowns. And even when he is diving in on the takedowns, it's very similar to Marab, where he's shooting the takedown just to shoot the takedown. He's not trying to land the takedown. You know what I mean? Like, he's trying to wear you out by mentally and physically, by just the volume that's coming at you. Like, he's gonna tire you out by just needing to defend constantly over and over and over and over. RoboCop, on the other hand, he's got pretty good BJJ. I don't think a lot of people know that. He has a very, very good grappling background, but he relies on like brawling with his, you know, he has a good chin. He's powerful. I get it. Why don't we show the grappling ever? I just don't understand. But he's eventually just trying to land an overhand. Like, he'll flick out a couple shots with his lead hand and then just bomb an overhand. And people go to sleep from it all the time. So, I mean, clearly he's doing something right. But, I mean, it just doesn't seem the most technical to me. But another reason that I'm taking Fluffy is, like, Gregory Rodrigues has such a weird variety of performances. At times, he'll be on the front foot, and he's really trying to knock you the f out, or he's trying to shoot takedowns here maybe. Then sometimes maybe he's on the back foot and he's being a little bit more passive and he was trying to counter strike. So I don't really know what we're going to be getting here. So I just have to assume that he's just going to try and land a bomb early because of how powerful he is. And more often than not, that's kind of the way that he tends to lean in terms of a style that he's choosing to have for, you know, that given night. So I just assume that, like, okay, he's trying to land a bomb, but at the same time, Fluffy does a very good job of not getting finished early. Except, I mean, when did he get finished against Sean Strickland? Was it the second round? It was the third round. You know, he can get clipped entering because he's kind of reckless and he leaves himself open just because he's throwing so much. He can't defend himself at the same time. So he can get clipped from looping shots specifically, which is what Gregory Rodrigues is good at landing. But I don't know. I just have to assume that Rodrigues will try to land a bomb. Hernandez will be wise to it, probably end up shooting a takedown, stopping the momentum, trying to tire him out, and then eventually get like a ground and pound, some sort of a TKO in the third or fourth round, maybe a submission. I think submission is less likely because Rodrigues, again, his grappling background is actually really good. Rodrigues, use it. But anyways, that is my breakdown. I appreciate you guys for watching. This card's actually pretty sick. I'm excited. Yeah, if you enjoyed, like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Got videos coming out all the time. Not all the time, but every now and again, you know what I mean? But yeah, so I'm taking Fluffy Hernandez. Appreciate you guys. Like and subscribe, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace.